can you think for yourself? This is an obvious question, or it appears to be an obvious question for most people, most Americans. But like, so I recently, it had been a years-long process, but I recently gave up on the Christianity faith, a faith that I was deeply invested in, just as a person and mentally, and just kind of it kind of gave me hope. But I feel like the older the older I got, the more I began to understand that the world is just hard, and that's mostly it. I got interrupted. Anyway, but I recently left the Christian faith, and it's just that, I just kind of thought about it, and just using my observational skills, I mean, not just observing science, but observing just seeing that the world is difficult, and it's not congruent with the way it's not congruent with the God's looking out for you thing. Like, I'm not even going to begin to talk about like science and how it shows that the Noah thing is not accurate. What I'm going to talk about is, like, it says in the Bible, you can look it up for yourself. I wish I knew the verse, but it says something about observe the sparrows, and if God cares so much about sparrows, he would care that much more about you, and he takes care of you, and blah blah. It encourages this idea that God's taking care of you, and he's not. Like, he's not. If I don't know, like, every Christian I know has some story about how God cares about them, and how God shows that he's continuing to pull them through, and this one time it was really tight and I managed to get through it. And I just kind of want to say, like, everything you're saying is chance. Like, even down to many things that appear to be miracles. Like, I've never seen a miracle, like, period, and the shit on TV doesn't count. Because that's obviously a scam, but I'm not going there. Like, just look at the Holocaust. Like, I couldn't pull out my Bible and tell those Jews just before they got shoved into the oven that God cared about them and he was going to take care of them through this. Or maybe I could go, remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who stood in a furnace, and the ghost of Jesus showed up, the Holy Spirit or whatever showed up, and actually, I don't know if Holy Spirit was a thing in that timeline. Whatever. Like, a big part of me says I don't care that people believe in Jesus as long as they believe in science. But then there's the other part of me that just, I'm not trying to pick on Christians. It genuinely bothers me that people they have false hope that may stop them from pushing through to finding a better answer to whatever problem they're working on at the moment. Or at least, like, I've heard about people that go to Benny Hinn crusades, and like, they weren't allowed to be to go up front because their screeners genuinely could see that they were actually ill. They have all these invisible illnesses, like true illnesses, like cancer or whatever, but they're like, oh, God's healing your cancer. Well, no one can see that he's not. Like, and so they keep literally, you can look this up, the screeners keep truly injured people that could not be healed on stage away. Because it's a bunch of shit, man. Like, dude, they roll in over $200 million a year, and I thought he was done. Like, I thought he had died or something, or whatever, just enough time had passed. I was like, whatever. No, man, they still have a website. They're still around. kind of attack them on Facebook just for fun. Because, and I'm not, you have to understand, I'm not angry that people believe in Jesus. I mean, I am a little, but my point is that people invest their hearts and their lives in this. And like, I suppose, like, if they never give it up, then they'll never have to worry about reality. But like, there was a certain point where I just had to swallow the pill. Like, fucking for real. And like, just, I think the biggest thing for me, even though I hadn't been, I still kind of was into it until recently, but like, the thing that really pushed it over the edge was watching the Ken Ham and Bill Nye debate. And Ken Ham just didn't bring any science at all, period. No real science. Okay, if I hear one more person talk about there's Christian scientists and how they have facts and all this shit, the next person that says that to me is going to be, they're going to have a problem. I'm not going to assault them, but I'm going to have to inform them one more fucking time that there is no real science to defend the Bible. Period. Like, and don't get me wrong, you don't know that many scientists, many atheists, they want to believe in the, as Richard calls it, Richard Dawkins calls it I just called him by his first name only, the God delusion. There's a lot of people that want to believe in that, including scientists, but it's just like, you're just deluding yourself. I'd like to believe that I could fly. When I was a kid, I desperately wanted to have superpowers. Didn't mean I believed I was going to get them. Like, it's only because the Christians that are watching this, it's only because they brainwashed you from your infancy or a little older than that. I mean, that's it. Like, period. And I know you've heard it before, and I know you're going to ignore it because you've heard it so many times, but think about it this time. Like, I know, I can already feel, and I already feel, I'm sounding spiritual now, I already know that many people are ignoring me saying it twice to think about it, but I'm going to say it a third time. Think about what if you didn't hear this when you were young. What if this was the first time you heard about the Jesus thing and about a man coming back from the dead and getting sucked into the sky and just think about that. I mean, and I don't want to be rude or I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's hardest when you finally have to accept that it's not all real. But the sooner you do it, the better. And people have kids and then they push it down their throat too. But it's just like, look at 9/11, look at the fucking Holocaust, I'm not saying that the world hasn't gotten better, it has, but it's just, there's no evidence for God, and there's nothing you can point to. Like, so many Christians, like, fucking point to the success in their life. Okay, so I read Jeremy Camp's book. It's called I Still Believe, and he's a very popular Christian singer. And he writes good music. Like, he's very talented. He's a very good musician. I would love it if he made music that wasn't Christian music. Because I do like his music, and I still, even though I can't go back to it now, like, I still have fond memories listening to Jeremy Camp. I won't throw that away. Like, don't think I'm throwing away all the good things I gained from Christianity. That is not it at all. Like, if you want to believe in the golden rule, everyone should. I still have fond memories. I'll still go back and listen to Switchfoot, even though it's kind of bittersweet and there's this pain that's mixed with nostalgia and, you get these emotions. But, like, anyway, so I'm not discounting all the good that I got from Christianity, but I can't believe in the God thing. But he wrote this book talking about his success in Christian music and how his wife died of cancer or something. And it's not telling you everything's going to be okay or anything like that, but he gets remarried to some hottie from some popular Christian group who's extremely talented. And I forget her name. I just don't care. But it was like he was hinging God. It felt like to me he was trying to use, like, him getting remarried and God seeing his situation, pulling through for him, whatever. Like, what the fuck? Like, maybe I'm misconstruing this, maybe I'm totally all wrong, but, like, don't tell me that God's real because it fucking worked out. I don't know that I would... What would you say to Jesus about it working out after he got nailed to the cross? I mean, he'd probably say something about salvation before he got nailed to the cross. He probably would say something that there'd be salvation after the fact, but dude, like, I don't know. You can't, if someone